Hello, beautiful people. Today we are going to talk about identifying signs of gaslighting. I have never heard of gaslighting, I think, until the Me Too movement. But just because I haven't heard of it doesn't mean that I didn't go through it. I'm just now learning some of the abuse that I went through actually has names. And I didn't, I never thought of it that way. So I wanted to review this with you. Okay, so gaslighting happens when a person tries to control you and they create doubt in your mind. Not only doubt about, just doubt like your self-being, your reality, what you know is true, what you know is true. Like if they say the sky is green, then perhaps the sky is green because they create doubt. That's how they are able to shift blame. That's how they are able to take control of a certain situation. That's how they can also take control or help or twist it around so you rely on them. So, okay, example of gaslighting would be something, they did something, let's say they did something wrong, and then they denied it. Have you ever had someone do that to you? I know in my relationships, I'm a domestic violence survivor of over a decade, 13, 17, I don't know, it's been many years. And they do something wrong, and then you call them on it, and then they act like they don't even know what you're talking about, right? And so they deny it to the utmost end, even though you could have proof, you could have whatever, but it's in their thinking, or what they're telling you is that no, basically you're going crazy, right? So gaslighting may also convince you that you're mentally unfit or too sensitive. I remember when I was younger, my mom used to tell me, she's like, usually in a joke, if they're joking about you or someone who is an abusive person, they joke about you. Somewhere in there, there's a line of truth, right? And it's painful. So for them to do that, and to be like, make joking about you, and then like, oh, I was just joking, when actuality it really wasn't a joke. It was a deliberate attack to your person, your mental stability, because abusive people don't like it when you have boundaries. They don't like that you have a stable mental, stable emotionally, because at that point they don't have control. They don't have anybody to put blame on. And so so those are things I've been talking about is gaslighting, right? So that never happened. Gaslighting often causes you to doubt yourself, and this doesn't necessarily have to be male, female. I mean, like in a relationship, it doesn't have to be your boyfriend or your girlfriend. It could be somebody at work. It could be somebody, a total stranger. This could be a different family member or a family member in your family, right? This can be somebody in your circle of friends. It doesn't have to be your partner. That's all I'm saying. And it can happen to males and females. It doesn't care about gender, right? This toxic trait does not care about gender. Okay, so someone will do or say anything abusive or wrong and then deny it to the bitter end. So okay, that's one of our identifying factors. Two, when they talk about you being too sensitive, what they're actually doing is minimizing your feelings, minimizing your thoughts. And chipping away at your boundaries, right? And they're like, oh, you're just being too sensitive. When in actuality, no, you have boundaries that you set, and that's their way of, like, I don't know, erasing them slowly or chipping away at them slowly, so that eventually in due time that you don't have the boundaries no more. You don't have the clear thinking no more. You don't have when that happens, when you don't have boundaries, what also happens with you? Yes, you lose stability. We lose stability, right? And so that is the ultimate end result that they're wanting to achieve. Because when they're able to do that, then they have more control. They have more, um, more. They can blame you more. They don't have to take responsibility. Okay, so here we go. This is a phrase used by, it's "you're too sensitive." It's a phrase used by gaslighters to minimize and invalidate your feelings. You try to express your hurt or disappointment. The person tell you that you're making a big deal out of nothing. How many times have you heard that? Stop making a big deal out of it. And then it makes you question, like, oh, am I being too sensitive? Am I being too sissy la la? Am I being too whatever, right? I mean, like, and because us women, we want to be strong, we want to be powerful. And so when someone says, oh, you're being too sensitive, we don't need to confuse that with being strong and being too powerful, right? Because no, that means we have boundaries. We are not too sensitive. They are just not taking our feelings into consideration. It is not us that is being too sensitive. They are just refusing to accept our boundaries. They are wanting to take control. They are wanting to shift blame. And by doing that, how do they do that? By creating doubt in your reality. Creating doubt. Doubting yourself. Okay. Then have you ever been told, oh no, you're crazy? I'm not sure how many of my viewers have been in domestic violence relationships or been in any kind of professional toxic relationships, and they tell you that you're crazy. Oh no, you're just crazy. And then they start telling everybody, oh no, she's just crazy. And so it's kind of like piling people against you, but in a quiet way, if you will, in a nonchalant way, if you will. And then so why do they do that? I can't even talk today. Why do they do that? They tell everybody that you're crazy. So when you do search for help, no one's going to believe you, right? They're going to convince you no one's going to believe you because they're like, oh, this person's crazy, right? It's just, maybe, I know it sounds like, no, they won't believe them, but believe it or not, they do believe them, that some people think they're crazy. I remember my ex, there was, no, well, if you wouldn't have done this, and if you wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have acted this way. I wouldn't have acted that way, right? So it made me feel like I was going crazy. I really did. And it wasn't until like later or after our relationship that I realized that I wasn't crazy, right? When I started having healthy thoughts, when I started seeking professional help, I realized that I wasn't going crazy, that this gaslighting technique is real. This tactic is real. And it's very subtle. It can be very subtle. It just starts with little things, right? Just our little, creating doubt in the littlest ways. And once those little ways start, then it gets bigger and bigger. So it's creating doubt within you, creating doubt in your thoughts, creating doubt in your mind, creating doubt in your actions in life, just creating doubt in all spectrums of your being. Okay? Okay. How many times, oh my goodness, how many times have they said, oh, you just have a horrible memory, or it didn't really happen like that, it happened like this, right? Whatever the wrong situation was, or whatever you're trying to recall, they tell you have a bad memory, it didn't really happen that way. I remember that happened with me, and my gut instinct would tell me, oh, do this, or it's like this, and they kept sitting there with a blank face telling me, oh no, you're wrong. But my gut instinct was telling me, no, you're wrong. But to the point, it started creating doubt. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if your gut instinct is telling you something completely different, if your gut instinct is telling you something completely different, my best advice, my personal advice is you might want to tune into that gut instinct, okay? Because that's their goal, is to create doubt. The abuser, that's their goal, is to create doubt. Okay. Also, what you do with people who gaslight, you want to pay attention to their actions versus their words, because they have plenty of words, right? And you got to remember that they are just words. So pay attention to their actions. If their actions do not match their words, then there's a red flag for you. That's another way for you to identify gaslighting, okay? So remember that. Look at their actions. How many times did your growing up did you hear, well, actions speak louder than words? Well, this is a prime example to really tune into that. Actions speak louder than words. Okay. Also, for, I don't know, I wanted to bring this awareness to you about gaslighting, because I know the terminology is new to me. However, I mean, it's new in the last 5 years, right? I didn't hear it when I was going through domestic violence, my relationships. However, I felt like, and then so I started doing research, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's what was happening to me. I felt totally insane. I didn't know up from down. They could have told me the sky was green, and I probably more would have been like, maybe if I did, if I didn't think about it, I could have been like, well, maybe it's blue green. I mean, you know, I'm just serious. I'm not being far-fetched whatsoever. And if they're constantly putting you down, you're not beautiful, you're not this, you're not that, it's all because of you. Well, also remember that you should not get penalized for not being perfect, okay? And it takes two in a relationship. No matter what it is, it takes two in the relationship. So gaslighting, or okay, yeah, and you're like, okay, but this isn't only a relationship, but this is also work, like at work or at school or at your circle of friends. But once you start recognizing this tactic, please share it with people. Please tell somebody this is what's happening to you. Please tell somebody. That way you can get the help you need, because we do not want you to doubt yourself. We want you to be strong. We want you to be courageous. We want your steps to be firm, okay? So we can't have firm steps, and we can't have a stride doubting ourselves. We have the whole world and social media, right, that create doubt in us. We do not need to interact with people who create doubt in us. Okay, so with that said, remember, recognize the signs of gaslighting, tell your friends, and if you need to, please talk to somebody professional. There is no shame in talking to a professional to help you, guide you through this. And at the bottom of this video, or on the side of the video, wherever, the comment section, I will leave a link or a phone number for help. I want you to be strong. I do not want you to be doubtful in 2022. What do we want to be in 2022? We want you to be the best you in 2022. And for all of those who don't know me, my name is Andrea Love. This is Life Accounts and Growing Pains. And this is a growing pain issue that we're discussing today, identifying signs of gaslighting. So I thank you for watching. I thank you for subscribing. Please share this video. Please leave a comment. This is an audience-based channel. So leave a comment if you're wanting to a certain topic to be researched and discussed. I will be more than happy to take them into consideration. And I just thank you so much for your support, and I will see you on the next video.